peptides are taking over the market by the storm. And you may have heard the term peptides, but you don't know what they really are and how they actually work. In this video, I will be talking about what peptides are and how does the body make its own peptides, what is the role of peptides, and how you can use them to your advantage. By the end of this video, you will be equipped with all the knowledge you need to live a healthier and longer life. So let's get started. If you don't watch the video from beginning to the end, you'll be very confused on how peptides play a strong role in helping you reverse your androgenetic alopecia permanently. So be sure to stick around till the very end. Now, peptides are smaller versions of proteins. They may provide pro-aging support, anti-inflammatory, or muscle-building properties. Recent research indicates that some type of peptides could have a beneficial role in slowing down the aging process, reducing inflammation, and destroying microbes. And now they are even used to reverse androgenetic alopecia, male pattern baldness, telogen effluvium, and diffused thinning. Both proteins and peptides are made up of amino acids, but peptides contain fewer amino acids than proteins. Peptides are naturally present in foods. Peptides are short-string amino acids typically comprising of 250 amino acids. Amino acids are also the building blocks of proteins, but proteins contain more. Now, there are two types of peptides, okay? First one is endogenous peptides. These are made by the body. They are naturally released from proteins and secreted from cells in the body. The second one is exogenous. These are peptides that are manufactured or produced outside the body by processes such as enzymatic hydrolysis of proteins, biosynthesis, or organic synthesis. Peptides are categorized based on whether they come from plants or animals and the length of amino acid chain. For example, dipeptides have 2 amino acids, whereas oligopeptides have few amino acids and polypeptides have between 20 to 50 amino acids. Peptides may be easier for the body to absorb than proteins because they are smaller and more broken down than proteins. They can more easily penetrate the skin, intestines, and the scalp barrier, which helps them enter the bloodstream more quickly. Different bioactive peptides have different properties. The effects they have on body depend on the sequence of amino acids they contain. This is crucial. The most common way of using peptides is either topically or injectable. I personally do not recommend taking them orally as it can have a lot of side effects, especially if you don't have a proper working gut, which is about 75% of the population. Peptides are named based on the number of amino acid residue in the sequence. As peptide chains form between the joining of the primary structure of the amino acid, they may enlarge to become an oligopeptide when they are between 10 to 20 amino acids in the chain. In vivo, each amino acid is added to the amino terminal of one amino acid to form a peptide chain. When there are greater than 20 amino acids, the peptide is in an unbranched chain deemed as polypeptide. Each amino acid comprising a peptide is called a residue, since that is the portion remaining after the loss of water in the dehydration reaction. Amino acids are the organic starting molecule composed of a carboxyl terminal and an amino group that makes up the foundation of a protein. Peptide synthesis depends on 3 main reactions. First, an amino acid goes through a deep production step. This is a preparatory reaction that adds the next amino acid to the chain. And lastly, a coupling reaction that forms the final peptide with functionality. In the second step, the amino acid becomes activated with several reagents. The carboxylic acid in the amino acid will react to make the activated form, which will enter into the coupling reaction. After one round of peptide synthesis, this process is repeatable to add more amino acids like a ladder until creating the desired length of the peptide. Just like when you use Lego blocks and you want to create a tower, you would add one Lego block on top of the other, This is how the peptides are formed within the amino acid chain. Biologically active peptides are produced from genes that target specific proteins or protein coupled receptors, such as the G protein coupled receptor, GPCR. The combination of this peptide receptor complex can then switch on or off a series of cascading reactions through a multitude of mechanisms. This is very important. Keep this in mind for later in the video. These downstream reactions that are activated may include other G proteins, tyrosine kinases, and a series of transcription events, and thus control all cellular processing and functioning. This is very important. Peptides and drugs. As of 2017, more than 80 peptide drugs have been approved in the US and other markets around the world. Peptides used in medicine are either naturally occurring or synthetic. Examples of peptide drugs include the following: diabetes drugs such as insulin and glucagon, like peptide 1, which is called the GLP-1 receptor agonist, which improve the blood sugar management. Vasopressin is used to treat diabetes insipidus and to manage antidiuretic hormone deficiency, which helps you go to the bathroom more often. Desmopressin is also used to treat diabetes insipidus, but also control excessive thirst and passage of an abnormally large amount of urine that may occur after a head injury or after certain types of surgery. Cyclosporin is used to treat organ rejection post-transplant, such as rheumatoid arthritis or psoriasis. Furetide is used in combination therapy for the treatment of HIV-1. Zicotonide is a neurotoxic peptide used to manage severe chronic pain. These are very hard names to pronounce. So D-T-duglutide is a glucagon-like peptide 2, which is an LGP2 analog used to treat short bowel syndrome. Luteinizing hormone releasing hormone, which is the LHRH agonist drugs, are used to treat ovarian and prostate cancer. Many antimicrobial peptides are in use to treat conditions like hepatitis C, pneumonia, HIV, and some bacterial infections. These peptides are either administered topically, orally, or IV. Side effects of peptides. Peptides are usually safe when taken according to the intended use, such as in prescribed medicine, vaccines, dietary supplements, or cosmetics. However, abusing peptide hormones such as insulin, growth hormone, thyroid hormones, and erythropoietin to promote skeletal muscle growth and to improve physical fitness can cause serious acute problems, which is why you see people getting blind using Ozempic. It is a peptide. Muscle paralysis, skeletal muscle damage and loss, diabetes, hypothyroidism, arterial hypertension, excessive sweating, headaches, and vomiting. Peptide hormone abuse can also increase the long-term risk for atherosclerosis, which is a plaque buildup in the walls of the blood vessels, thrombosis, which is blood clots, osteoporosis, which is brittle and fragile bones due to bone loss, and even cancer. Now that you know all about peptides, I will be talking about topical peptides that are used for hair growth and permanently reverse androgenetic alopecia, male pattern baldness, female pattern baldness, and telogen effluent. A few minutes ago, I mentioned biologically active peptides are produced from genes that target specific proteins or protein coupled receptors, such as G protein coupled receptors, which is the GPCR. The combination of this peptide receptor complex can then switch on or off a series of cascading reactions through a multitude of mechanisms. This means if you have the thick hair gene, you had the thick hair gene before puberty, you had thick hair before puberty, then using the correct targeted products topically can actually switch that gene on that is sleeping, and you can regrow that thick hair you once had. That is why I was referring to that passage. Now, with 5 years of clinical tests and research, I've made the specific hair essence that contains targeted 11 biomimetic peptides that target the root cause of hair loss. Many people think using rosemary water or minoxidil will help regrow that hair. While that is only 50% true, what is really happening is when you are using these products is they are only keeping your hair cycle in the growth phase for a longer period of time by boosting circulation. They're not fixing the root cause of the problem, which is weak hair bulb and dermapapilla. The blood vessels surrounding the dermapapilla might be getting the blood flow, but all the wall around the hair bulb is weak on its own, which is why it falls out easily. When you understand the root cause of a disease and treat it at the root level, that is when you finally treat any disease in its entirety. This is why Miracle Locks works on the hair bulb and the dermapapilla first, the things that you do not see with your naked eye, because it's working on the microscopic level. But using the product consistently will give you the results you will actually see after 100 days of use consistently. This product contains 11 peptides, like I said. I will not be disclosing what exact peptides are used just yet because this product is currently undergoing a patent. But here's the breakdown of what each peptide in this bottle does for hair growth. Peptide 1 promotes the growth of new hair follicles and increases the size of existing ones, which means increases the diameter. Stimulates the production of new blood vessels, angiogenesis, enhances blood flow to the scalp, ensuring the hair follicles receive adequate oxygen and nutrients essential for hair growth. Boosts the production of collagen and elastin, which are crucial for maintaining the structural integrity of hair and skin. Shortens the telogen phase, which is the resting phase of the hair growth cycle, help reduce shedding, enhances follicle size. This all one peptide does. Now, peptide number 2 activates dermapapilla cells, which are crucial for hair follicle development and cycling. Peptide 3 influences the biochemical pathways responsible for converting young vellus hairs into thicker, mature terminal hairs. Peptide 4 helps delay the signs of aging for hair and scalp, helping to keep more blood flow to the vessels as you age. Peptide number 5 mimics the growth factor that signals the body to produce more collagen, hyaluronic acid, and other glycosaminoglycans to help hair retain moisture, improve its texture, and promote blood circulation in the scalp, ensuring that your hair follicles receive more nutrients and oxygen. Peptide number 6, composed of 4 amino acids, glycine, glutamine, proline, and arginine, and it is attached to a palmitic acid which enhances oil solubility and skin penetration, works by reducing the production of the signal molecule, which is interleukin 6, which promotes inflammation in the skin, and less inflammation means slower degradation of important things like collagen that results in younger looking hair for a longer period of time. Peptide number 7, it restores the inner bonding of hair, increases its moisture content, and improves its overall texture and strength, reducing split ends and breakage. Peptide number 8 stimulates keratin genes, increases hair shaft production, helps us strengthen structural tissues, generates new follicles, awakens dormant ones. Peptide number 6 bonds with hair proteins, reinforcing the follicle and minimizing hair loss. Stimulates the hair follicle cells, increasing their proliferation and activity, promoting the growth of healthier, stronger hair strands. Enhances hair anchoring by stimulating the production of adhesion molecules in the hair follicle. Peptide number 10 promotes the growth of hair follicles by stimulating the proliferation growth of dermapapilla cells, prevents apoptosis, which is programmed cell death of the dermapapilla cells, which are crucial for hair follicle function. Dermofibroblast stimulation and increased expression of vascular endothelial growth factor, both of which act as a main factor in hair growth. Peptide number 11, a biomimetic peptide which stimulates the production of proteins within the ECM, which is a substance surrounding the hair follicles, by increasing the synthesis of proteins like type 3 collagen and laminin, helps to ensure a better anchoring of hair fibers to the scalp. It plays a role in hair regeneration by preserving the activity of cells in the dermopapilla, which are crucial for initiating new hair growth cycle. So you can see this product is a powerhouse for new hair growth, for better hair growth, for existing hair growth. And this is how I reversed my androgenetic alopecia in 100 days. And these results are right here on the screen. I will show you from when I started and where I am right now. Now you are able to better understand what peptides are, why they are important, how the body makes its own peptides, and how you can use peptides to your advantage to help improve different parts of your being, different parts of your body, given the fact that you should not abuse anything, because too much of one product does not mean better results. I get these types of comments and questions often in my DMs on Instagram, that if I use it more often, will I have better hair growth? And the answer is no. Use it morning and evening every single day. Using it 3 times a day, using it 4 times a day, or even putting an entire bottle on your scalp will not give you better results. You just need to use 3 drops per hair part and massage it, and that's all. It dries down completely. By the way, if you are interested in the hair frame protocol that I used to help you reverse any type of an autoimmune disease first before you start targeting your hair loss, that will be in the description box below. You can go ahead and check out that framework, and the website to these products will also be in the description box below. Now that you are equipped with all of this knowledge on peptides, how they work, the science behind it, now is the time to take action, and now is the time for you to decide whether you are worth the investment and the time, because the time will always pass. The time will not stop for anyone. You will anyways go through life either having more hair growth or either having less hair growth and more balding. That is for you to decide, and that time is now.